If your golf shots are starting offline or curving too much, then this video is a must watch because you are going to learn the single best drill to fix that swing path and get your ball back online. Let's get stuck in.
Okay, Keith, we just did a great video talking about how to fix a slice, mate. But this one here, we're going to talk about the swing path in general. Two main variables that affect the way the ball flies, club face angle and swing path, right? And really, there's two main patterns that we would see. A player who would tend to come a long way from the inside to out, and then the opposite, outside to in. What is your one-stop shop to fix either of those?
So most players never come to me for lessons because they're hitting it too straight, right? So it's either one of those two patterns. They're hooking it or they're slicing it, right? And you know, the more I've done this, the more I've taught lessons, helping them find a middle ground, like not going too extreme, because what I'll find is like if someone's slicing it and I teach them to really hook it, like if they're a good student, in 3 weeks time, they'll come back with a nasty snap hook. And then I've got to fix that snap hook. So this drill has become a staple in my teaching because it helps players find a nice neutral ground. The ball might fall a little right or a little left. The dispersion is going to get tighter because we're not curving the ball one way or the other too much. And I've used a cardboard box. If you've seen on my Instagram channel, I've used a cardboard box that, you know, something was just delivered into my house, and it's, you know, it's about waist high. But you know, on my lesson tee, I'll use my little lesson placard here to kind of denote my teaching area, and it really serves the same purpose. So you can see from the down the line camera here that we've got the toe of the golf club, you know, give or take about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch away from this sign, right? And as you take that golf club back and go to the top of the backswing, it becomes pretty obvious if you go out to in that this part of that box is now kind of in jeopardy, right? It's preventing you from delivering the club in that zone, which so many players, if they're in the neighborhood of 7-8 degrees out to in, which is a very common place for players to come to lessons, this would be really tough for them to not hit. And then the other end of the spectrum, if someone comes in the, you know, comes to me for a lesson in the neighborhood of 7-8 degrees into out, which does happen, you can see here that you're going to contact the golf ball, but the club's going to run into this upper portion of the box kind of past impact.
And you're going to need a new sign.
I'm going to need a new sign. Yes, exactly. I've gone through about 3 or 4 of these a year typically. So, but it's good because all I care about is the players getting better. I'll order up a new sign if I have to. So we like to see, and you see this from all great ball strikers, if you kind of go up to the top of the backswing and come down to shaft parallel prior to impact, we're going to see that club head dang near in relation to your hands, pretty much lined up, right? We've got like this nice straight line from the hands to that golf club there. And this alignment stick is such a great visual. I use it all the time. We want that club shaft pretty darn close to lined up with that alignment stick prior to impact. If it's a little this way or a little that way, you're still going to hit plenty of really good shots. We're just trying to avoid big diagonals this way or that way. And this box really helps that. And as that club head comes into impact, we want to come from the inside, make contact, but then we also want this club to arc back around to the inside over here.
I think that's a very important element to note, is that the golf swing is an arc. It's a circle. It's not straight back and straight through. And we see sometimes when players do this drill without the full understanding of it, they try and trace the line of that. Now, for simplicity's sakes, if I stand up and Keith jumps at the end of my club here, if I was just pivoting around that point, you can see the golf club is going to work in and around my body, come back to a point where it wouldn't strike him, and then back in and around myself if I bend down from my hips.
Love that.
Taking that same circle onto an incline plane, guys, and the golf club will naturally arc around, make impact, and then around again. You don't need to think about it and try and force it. That's just how it will naturally happen, but this builds a great awareness of that.
Again, it's an external cue, so it's kind of an avoidance drill, which, as you probably get in a theme here, I'm a big fan of these because players adapt to these really well. The research shows it. My teachings have proved it. Not a lot of internal thoughts of like, okay, how am I going to get that club working from the inside? What body parts are going to move to get there, right? We don't think about how I'm going to lift a fork into my mouth. Showing players visually how the arc should work. I love that standing up straight drill that you just did. It really proves the point that that club's working around the spine. All we do is we tilt forward. The club still works around the spine. But again, this prevents the player, or you know what will probably end up happening is they'll end up hitting one side of the box or the other, and they'll go, oh wow, I thought I was doing what I was trying to do. I need to be, you know, doing this slower or more methodically.
Love that, mate. So as we always talk about, starting off with no golf ball, setting up
and don't even make full swings right off the bat.
Just the little ones, huh? So just getting a feel, making sure we still have the intent, Keith, of brushing the ground, yes?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's
and this is a great one for better players because most better players come with a little bit too much curve from right to left, right? This really shows them, hey, let's get that club working more around you to the left. Keep that club swinging on that arc.
Yeah, perfect. So once you've done a few little small swings like that, then chip a couple out there, Keith?
Yeah, just a little 3/4 move. Yeah, really nice ball flight there.
Yeah, and that builds great awareness there, guys. Just having that down there, don't try and focus on tracing it straight back, straight through. Let the golf club naturally arc, but always kind of like do those little small practice swings first, then the small chip shots, just getting a feel of exactly what it's like to get this swing path on line with your target. Right?
Yep.
It can arc, but we still want it on line with the target. So we've done the small shots, Keith. What's next?
So we're just going to build, right? I mean, and don't be impatient when you're building on these swings. Sit there and spend 30 shots hitting these small ones. It's only going to help you, but obviously, you know, somebody who picks it up straight away like you're doing here, we can definitely build and make this a bigger motion. But if you start to feel things breaking down, if you start to feel old habits creeping in, come back down to those smaller swings, regain the feel, regain the confidence, and then build your way back up. I think the #1 place I see players falling into traps is they just try to fix things at their normal speed and normal length of swing. Right? We are trying to build new paths from the brain to the body, and those old paths are very, very well entrenched. So we need to go slowly, methodically, for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely love that. And every coach around the world that I've done this collaboration series with will say exactly the same thing. All right, so we've done the small shots, we're built up to little halfers. Let's go ahead, hit a full shot, see how this comes off.
Thanks for watching this video. YouTube thinks that you would benefit from watching this one next. So click that card and it could be the tip that you need to take your game to the next level. I'll see you next time.